This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries. We're your host. I'm Grace.
And I'm Alexis.
And today wraps up our Mr. T arc for now, as we like to say, because we always come back to it during our holiday arcs or beyond. But yes, today Alexis will be telling us our final Mr. T episode, and then next week we'll start our new arc. We're getting a bit silly. We're getting a bit crazy with it after this, like what turned out to be kind of serious arc in the last
unexpectedly
handful of episodes. So we're getting funky and silly and, you know,
a little weird,
if you will.
There's a clue for those who really know
it.
all about classic cartoons.
Yes, nice. Great hint, great clue. But until then, Alexis will be taking us on some type of crazy fucking journey. I don't know what it's going to be. She's given some warnings in our last episode of like, buckle the fuck up, lock in.
Yeah. So, lock in, lock up.
Lock up.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. All of the above. Yeah. And with that, I mean, I'm just going to pass it to you because I don't know what to expect. And literally anything could happen. Literally anything can happen in this show.
Yeah.
So
anything could happen. And
tell it to me.
You know, we're going to jump in today, Grace, because I'm so excited to tell you about this case today, although it is bittersweet. It's our last episode of Mr. T, but we're ending on a true bang. I mean, these last 2 weeks of this show are really just putting cartoons into a whole new light for me, a whole new perspective. So, again, just like you did last week, we're going to skip over Mr. T's live action announcement or moral lesson before the start of the episode. We'll talk about it at the end, and we're going to just jump right into this like you did again last week in full true crime fashion, Grace.
Let's go.
So the case that we're going to talk about today begins in the late night hours on the high seas, actually, the Arabian Sea, I presume. We'll get to why in a second.
Interesting.
You said this could take us anywhere. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Let's go to the Arabian Sea, actually. And we are on a shipping vessel. It's making its way through the sea. And it plans
what are we shipping?
Dock. We'll get to there in a second.
I'm really worried. Okay.
Don't worry, it's more innocent. It's not drugs. I will put it that way. Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking of context of our world right now in summer 2026, and I'm worried about that.
Also true, and it's also not oil, thankfully.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was worried
thankfully.
About.
Yeah. Okay. But unfortunately, related to current events in other ways, which we will get to here soon.
Great.
But yeah, so this shipping vessel plans to dock in the African nation of Samana by sunrise. And I presume that Samana is some fictionalized hybrid of Ethiopia and Somalia, which are both located in the Horn of Africa, like that eastern peninsula that juts out into the Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea. More on why I presume this in just a moment.
We're on the high seas. We're talking about Somalia. Okay, interesting.
And so fog rolls in around this large shipping vessel, and we see a much smaller boat, like a launch boat, again, kind of peek its way through the fog and make its way right up to the side of the shipping vessel. And this smaller boat is filled with a group of very rough-looking and violent-looking men, but also 2 men in suits. So I'd say it's maybe like 8 of these like henchmen, lackey-looking guys, and then 2 men in suits. One of the men in suits is a shorter black man, so I presume an African man from Samana or one of these nearby countries, and he's wearing like a blue suit, and he's got these thick-rimmed black glasses hanging out of the chest pocket.
Okay.
And the other man in a suit is a white man who's very tall and very hefty, very big guy, in an all white suit, and he's got like a white fedora on.
Sir.
And this guy Yeah, right. Like, what year is it? Where are we?
What's
New York City in 1920? What are you going to take your Tommy guns out and shoot at the boat? I don't know. But this guy's face is like cloaked under the shadow of his hat and the fog and everything. So we can't really see
Okay.
what he looks like. But we see his pearly white teeth kind of shining as he orders everyone else on the small boat to get into position.
Don't love this. Okay.
We do
There's a
not
lot of
love
dynamics
it.
happening here that is
Huh?
this episode
So
about
all
colonization? Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
I mean, is it everything is in this
Right, you're so
world,
right.
isn't
It's the
it?
undertone of everything.
To a certain
Okay.
degree. So all of the other men on the small boat, they then take out grappling hooks. They
Okay.
shoot them up onto a railing on the shipping vessel and they climb their way aboard. And so either this massive ship doesn't have like a large crew on it,
Uh-huh.
or maybe more realistically for this show, this group of pirates just one by one silently and stealthily takes out all of the crew
Yeah,
as they make their way onto the
as they
ship.
do. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
only moments later, this whole group is able to quickly make their way to like the captain's area, like that was like the brig or whatever, the bridge, whatever they call it, where the
Yeah, the
captain is
bridge.
steering the
Yeah.
ship. Yes. And once they get there, they basically like slam the door open and the captain and his first mate all turn around, and what they see is just this group of pirates basically essentially holding them up at like what feels like
Yeah.
gunpoint. I don't think we
Yeah.
actually see any weapons, but like they
Well, you
they
know.
obviously have weapons,
Yeah.
exactly. And our man in the blue suit steps forward and tells the captain that
I'm
he
the
and
captain
his
now.
men exactly. Bro, that's exactly where Captain Phillips got it from. He doesn't
The
actually say that, but he's like,
blue.
"We
Yeah.
are taking over this ship." So it's like basically, I'm the
Yep.
captain
I'm the
now.
captain now. Okay.
Yeah. So we then cut to earlier that same day, but now we are back in the United States where we see
Okay.
our A team. Yeah, don't worry. Well, all of your questions will be
Okay.
answered.
Okay. Thank God.
Where we see our A team, literally the four bests of the best, not Spike, unfortunately, or any, no Courtneys or anything in this episode. We're bringing it
Spike is
back to
back
just
at
our
the
core
O'Neill's
group.
house because after my last episode, they were like, "You're done traveling with this team.
You're never leaving our site again.
Yeah, you need a real chaperone, and it's us. Get home."
Yeah, right now.
We already lost one child and almost lost our second staying
Yeah, we're
here
not gonna lose that. Yeah, and I mean they almost lost Spike in that other episode too with you. So it's
Yeah,
like they've almost lost him
multiple
multiple
times.
times.
Yeah,
Nah, no,
stay
you're
home
coming
now.
home, buddy. You're retiring. No more water boy
Yeah.
duties for you. So the A team back in the US, they're crushing it actually on the floor, putting on quite a show and quite a performance at the AGCT Charity Gymnastics Performance. I
Okay.
don't know what AGCT stands for. I don't know, American Gymnastics Championship Tournament. I don't know. It's obviously
It's
like
legit.
whatever league they're
Yeah.
in, probably. But basically, this is like a tour that the team has been doing. They've been traveling across the country doing meets so that they can specifically raise money and awareness for a charitable cause. In this case, food aid and humanitarian aid in Africa,
Okay.
particularly in the nation of Samana.
Okay, our connection begins.
It begins.
Okay.
So the team is wrapping up all of their routines, and the audience loves them. Like the audience is roaring and
Awesome.
applause. Spike is looking on from the bench saying, like, gosh, one day that's going to be me. I'm
And his
so
parents are
proud of
like,
them.
"No, it won't
The
be."
fuck it ain't. Yeah. Uh-uh. No,
Sure as
it
hell
will
won't be.
not. You are coming home with us after this meet. We are
Yep.
coming with you on every meet now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we also, Grace, we see both Mrs. Bisbee and Mr. T like crying, full on tearing up as they're watching the
That's
team
so good.
perform. They're hearing them, yeah, get all this applause. They hear how much the audience loves them and supports them. It's really sweet. Like Mr. T is just like, I'm so proud of them. Like, of course my
Oh,
team came prepared. Like, they're
of course
doing
they
such a
killed
good
it.
job.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, cute.
But Mr. T's tears aren't just from pride in the team's performance. They are also from pride in his team's dedication to service and their dedication to
Yeah.
making the world a better place. Because again, it's
Cute.
not just about them doing gymnastics, it's about them
Yeah.
raising money for a good cause. So in the locker room after the meet, Mr. T explains to the team that the money they are raising is going to help get a lot of food to people suffering from starvation and famine in Africa.
Okay.
And at first, the teens, being teens from the United States of America,
Uh-huh.
they're like, I mean, how bad can it really be over there, Mr. T? They're like, listen, we're happy to do these charity meets. We're happy to help raise money, but like, it's not that bad, right?
Also, I'm like, thank God Miss Frizzle wasn't their teacher, because
Oh, well, yeah, because we know that's the magic phrase. Like,
uh-huh.
how
How
dot dot dot
bad? It can't
sound all
really
right.
be. Right. At least they're
Mhm.
gonna have to like, I don't know, do some paperwork to get over to this
Right,
big
right.
country. But
They're not
and
gonna
like
shrink down and insert themselves in someone's intestines and
I
then
know to
sneak
see
onto a
how
plane
actually
that
bad it
way.
is.
And then
Right. It would
yes.
just be some really fucked up way Miss Frizzle would teach them this
Yeah,
lesson. I'm
yeah.
sure this is also gonna be fucked up in a different way, but yeah, at
Yep,
least it's
yep.
not immediate. At least it's not
Yeah.
immediate that you're suddenly
It's,
there.
it's actually very funny that you said that too, because I mean, put a very short pin in that.
Oh
So
no.
I was like, wow, this actually does have a lot of this Frizzle vibes in it now that you mentioned that.
Yeah,
So
again, like
you
your kid's gonna
actually
learn.
you might be
Okay.
more right than you realize you are
Oh
in
no.
just a few
I don't know if I
seconds
want
here.
that now. Okay.
So, but like as the kids or as the teens are in there saying, like, really, could it be that bad? Like, how much of a famine are we talking about here? How hungry are they really? And Spike is like, they feed them powdered milk and dried eggs. I wouldn't want any of that stuff.
His
Like
parents are
knowing that
like,
that's what they.
your bedtime's pretty soon, Spike, so wrap up
Hey,
this
Spike, we got to
bullshit.
get going soon. I know
Spike,
you
what are
like
you
talking
talking
with the
about?
team afterwards, but we
Yeah.
got to get a move on. And so Mr. T tells all the kids that it's not a matter of like what kind of food sounds good to them or what they
Hmm.
want to eat over there. It's purely a matter of survival or about eating it all.
Yeah.
But he also tells the kids that the best way for them, and here's where it gets Miss Frizzly, the best way for them to understand how bad it is for them to see it for themselves.
His feather earring glows like Miss Frizzle's stuff.
And then they all like spin around or whatever, and then they poof, they're in Samana.
Mr. Trizzle.
Poof, they're in someone's
Said Miss
intestines as they're
Frizzle.
going through the TSA to get on a plane to Samana.
They're like part of like the dried eggs, like food
Yeah.
supply getting moved through.
The powdered milk. They're like
Oh
shrunken
God.
down to molecular level to hide in a package of powdered milk as
Like
they
learn
make
about
their way.
nutrition.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
they've got to go see it for themselves.
Okay.
And Mr. T tells them that the money they have raised throughout their gymnastics tour was enough to fill several large shipping vessels.
Mm.
For those not watching on YouTube, I just did a
Hmm.
clear look at the camera to make sure you caught that.
Interesting. Interesting. Shipping vessels. Interesting. Going to
Yes.
Sama. What's the fake country
Mhm.
called?
Samana, like
Samana. Okay.
Samana. Yes,
Okay, got it.
Samana.
That these shipping
But
vessels,
in
you
my brain, I just
say.
call it Ethiopia basically throughout the rest of this, which is
Okay,
why in my next
great.
paragraph I'll explain why.
Okay.
But so not actually Somalia, but Ethiopia primarily. But anyways,
Okay.
so yes, they were able to fill several shipping vessels with
Mm.
a lot of food and humanitarian aid
One less
and
vessel,
send
I guess,
them
is making it there, but we'll see. Okay.
and send them to the country of Samana, specifically to alleviate the famine. And he has also arranged for all of them to fly out and help unload and distribute one of the last ships that is set to dock there. Now, also, I would just say it now too. Miss Bisbee is like, oh, that's such a great idea, Mr. T. Like, that's so wonderful. Unfortunately, I've got to actually stay back this week to help plan for our next gymnastics meet, but
Oh,
like, you guys have fun. So just like to give you not warning, but heads up.
Heads up that she's not there.
Bisbee's not in the rest of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, you look like you were about to say something before I threw that in there. So,
well, then when you said that, I was like, Miss Bisbee's actually not allowed to leave the country after what just recently happened.
I'm glad that I blurted that out before you said it. Then, yeah. She's not. And that's, yeah.
I don't remember the other thing I was going to say. Oh, I was just making the face about the shipping vessel, the last one, being like, ooh, we got some news about that one.
Yeah.
You guys came here for no reason. Sorry. It's gone. Yeah. But then you said the Bisbee thing, and I was like, oh, no, she's actually under... I mean, she still committed like some crimes, even though like wasn't under her control in your episode about her. But like, she definitely has an ankle monitor on.
She's just not allowed. Yeah,
she travels state to state, but not international. Yep. Yeah, that's why she can't come.
So, similarly to what you did last week, you gave us a little bit of historical context to kind of help explain. Right, so I'm going to give you some historical context as to why I believe Samana is a hybrid of Ethiopia and Somalia.
Okay.
Particularly Ethiopia. Because, well, it just so happens that between the years of 1983 and 1985, literally the years that the show was in production, yes, Ethiopia happened to suffer through a historic famine. And a lot of people probably think back like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ethiopia is unfortunately infamously known for like hunger and starvation and famine among a lot of its people. And that's because there was a very large famine, historic one that struck the nation. It really started before then, but that's like the most damage and the most, exactly. It was the hardest hit during 1983, to 1985. But also, Ethiopia is landlocked, so it doesn't have like shipping ports and docks, to my knowledge. And like in the episode, they make it look like you can just like ship stuff right up to this country.
That's why they made up the country for it
on the sea. Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, I think they made up this country so that they could like plot armor, basically. So it's more like Ethiopia, but just call it at this point too, like. With the way that they did your kidnapping episode, I'm like, just fucking call it Ethiopia at this point. Sorry.
It's because they needed the ships for for it all, but also like
it would be too confusing. Yeah.
Like, I'm like, are these episodes coming out like how they do SNL? Like week of writing and animating these fucking episodes?
And that gets to my next line here where I say, I won't get too deep into this history, but I will share a few things to sort of set the historical context in which this episode was made and aired.
Right.
Like literally while this famine was happening exactly. Like I'm sure that parents would like let their kids watch the show in the morning, and then the afternoon news would come on afterwards, and it would be like a fucking story about the Ethiopian famine. And then they'd be like, whoa. Wow. That was just on that cartoon you were watching. Yeah.
Right. They're like, wait a second. Were you watching the news this morning, honey?
Yeah. Wait, when did they start animating the news?
Basically,
when did Mr. T become a broadcaster, become a foreign correspondent?
What an anchor. Yeah, his foreign correspondent. Boots on the ground.
Yeah, literally the boots there on this ground. And then this historical context that I'll run through real quick is also just going to further prove why like the rest of the events of this episode of this cartoon are absolute batshit wild, and how we're just ending it on a note, we'll say.
A note.
Note. So to sum it up, this is all per Wikipedia, obviously our main source in all aspects of life, basically.
Yeah.
The 1983 to 1985 famine in Ethiopia was the worst famine to hit that country in more than a century at the time that it had occurred. I'm not sure if there's been a worse one since then, but it was the worst one, at least up until that point. And overall, it affected an estimated like nearly 8 million people.
Whoa.
And that was out of the nation's 38 to like 40-ish million people. So almost a fifth of the country was affected by this. And the death toll was estimated to be somewhere between, depending on which researcher or which organization you ask, somewhere between 400,000 and 1.2 million people.
Holy shit.
Yeah, even the lowball number there is crazy in that 2-year period of the famine alone. Yeah.
Whoa.
From like that part of it. Yeah. Even if we lowballed 400,000, that is
in 2 years.
Crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even worse than that, or I don't know about worse than that, but
In
to make
addition
a bad
to,
situation, in addition to, yeah,
mm,
millions more people were displaced, and an
mm,
estimated like 400,000, maybe 500,000 refugees left Ethiopia, and nearly 200,000
whoa.
children were orphaned.
Oh, okay. Oh
Now,
God.
the
Which
true
part of all of
cause,
this is going to
it's,
tie into our
it's
show?
all coming
You just said a
together
lot of
with the
things
show.
that
Yes. That
aren't
these kids,
children's
that
show
Mr. T is
material.
demanding these kids see
Learn. Yeah.
in real
An
life,
experience.
not
Yeah.
just, yeah, but it gets worse, actually.
Yep.
Now, the true cause of this famine is where things get dicey. Kind of depends on who you ask. Like,
Okay.
are you asking the Ethiopian government at that time? Are you asking
No.
the United
Okay.
Nations,
Oh
etc.?
no. Okay.
The hardest hit regions were what's called the Tigray province and the Wollo province.
Okay.
I think they're both in the north. I know Tigray is. I want to say Wollo is too. And these two areas had really hard access or like no access to roads or transportation networks, which is
Okay.
partially why it was hard to get food to them.
Yeah.
And there was a historic drought in these two
Oh,
provinces throughout
God.
the mid 1980s that obviously put a lot of strain on cattle farmers and just farmers in general and on growing any sort of
Yeah.
vegetation and raising livestock. Many others say that overpopulation was becoming an issue,
Mm.
which obviously can lead to some sort of food
Strain
shortages
on
in some
resources.
ways. But the famine did also pop off about 10 years into the Ethiopian Civil War.
No. I was like, Grace, don't assume that that's
Don't
about to be part of it.
assume.
Like, that's shitty of me to assume that that's about to be a part of it.
Yeah, it is. It's, hey, history speaks for itself, though. And
This is like those
organization,
memes we would
yeah,
send to each other of Miss Frizzle like taking the kids to like the Vietnam War.
literally.
This is what,
You
and
just
like
see
teaching kids about
Arthur with
Agent
the helmet
Orange.
on, like having
Yeah.
like 1,000 yard stare of like
Yeah,
being
like
in the
bombs going
jungles and the
off behind
rainforest of
them.
Vietnam behind
And
him.
now
Yeah,
we're
literally.
taking these gymnasts,
These teenagers
these
and
teenagers,
Spike, kid. Yep, and their
and
dog. Dozer's there too. Hmm.
to not
A
trained, by the
war
way,
zone.
any type of aid work. So they're
No,
not aid workers. They're not there to
no.
distribute the food and
Yeah, well,
help.
they are. They
Well,
are,
they're
but
not trained to
no,
distribute the
exactly.
food
Now they
by
are working
like,
with the Red Cross, I will say, and we'll get to that in a minute too. But
okay,
yes,
well,
yep, their plan is to just
Red
show
Cross.
up. They're going to welcome the ship and they're going to just start unloading things and taking them right to the hungry people and see the hungry villagers themselves. They've got it
Also,
all planned out perfectly, Grace, as far as
also,
they're
what is it
concerned.
called? Like, fuck, what type of tourism?
Oh,
Where like you go to like see the horrible
yeah.
stuff and it's like I'm doing good by
It's
helping here, but I'm
Yeah,
also
what do you call that?
taking
Not
pictures
like
like
a
savior
part of me,
tourism.
I feel like it's something like that, but it also falls under like disaster capitalism, where it's like you
Yeah.
profit off of off of
Yeah.
human suffering,
Something's happening
basically.
here.
And
Something's
yeah,
happening
you're
here
right though.
that
There is like a specific word for that, like tourists who basically, yeah, it's not like
yeah.
humanitarian tourists. That sounds
Right.
too kind.
Right,
Yeah, it's
exactly. Because like
basically
there
that's
are
it's
also
like so you
actual
can be an
humanitarians
influencer.
doing good
Yes,
work. Like,
exactly,
but I'm
exactly.
also
Like
being
this
like,
Red
man,
Cross lady who we will soon see.
I said the
Um,
Red Cross desperate for some bodies. No one's coming there after
oh,
10 years of civil war. Like no one's
exactly.
going, but they said,
We
we'll take
will get
anyone.
to it, but like we literally see one woman running an entire outpost, and she's got like bags under. We'll get there. We'll get there. I don't want to jump ahead too much. Just a little bit more here about the
I'm
Civil
just
War, though, to also set the context
please,
that
please,
these
please.
kids are
Yeah, this is
entering a
all
war zone. By the
information for me.
way,
Yeah. Yeah, we need information before we enter a war zone, unlike these kids probably. Okay.
yeah,
Give me
at
the
least we have
info.
the benefit of research.
Okay.
Yeah, so many or not many, but some organizations such as Human Rights Watch claim that
Yeah.
more than half of the mortality during this famine
Oh no.
could be attributed directly to human rights abuses that
Oh
caused the
no.
famine to come earlier than it needed to and to strike harder than it
Yeah, like
needed
made it
to and to
worse.
extend further. Exactly. They exacerbated the conditions. And this is because, so remember those two provinces I
Yep.
mentioned that
Uh-huh.
were two of the hardest hit? And they weren't the only two, there were some others, but these
Yeah.
two in particular, Tigray and Wollo, I mentioned them because those two hardest hit regions, well, they just so happen to be the stomping grounds of longstanding anti-government insurgencies and rebel groups. So basically, food was used as a weapon of war where they would not distribute food to some of those areas because they were the enemy of the state, because they were the rebel groups that were fighting against the national federal government of Ethiopia. And also, so like we can attribute a lot of the famine and the hunger to
Hmm.
direct government military policies like counterinsurgency strategies against those guerrilla soldiers and the insurgent groups, but also the federal government trying to do like social transformation in non-insurgent areas and be like, no, we're the good ones, but also not really being able to like work with them and distribute the
Yeah.
aid the right
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
because so,
So
to
kids,
put
do
it
you
all
have your
again into
passports?
perspective, they're entering a
Okay.
war zone, and
Robin,
that's all we're going to talk
ready?
about with that.
F,
We could go
M,
on more and more, but we're not a war podcast, as we said many times before. We're not a history
history,
podcast. We're not
no,
going to get into the politics of all of
geopolitics.
this. Just know that
But this
this is
is
what
very helpful
this was all
context.
known exactly, and this was known at the time that this episode came out. Like, there's other stuff that was discovered about the food
Oh,
distribution
like
networks and kind of
afterwards.
like after the fact, yeah, like in the early 2000s. But I'm just telling you the history that was known at the point of this episode coming out to set the context of what the writers even knew they were putting these kids through or sending them into.
Also,
Okay,
I'm like,
so.
what in God's name is the starting lesson that Mr. T starts? I know you told me you'll tell me eventually. But like, what the fuck
I
is the
guess,
episode
should I just almost spat that coffee out? I guess I can tell you now. Yeah. Thank
like,
you
be
for saying
grateful for what
you're
you
like, how the
have.
fuck did we
Like
get here? Yeah. Literally, that's it.
war
We just
crimes.
see
Like,
like
is that the lesson? Like,
don't commit
here's
war crimes.
what crimes against
Don't fund
humanity.
rebel insurgent groups. Don't be
Like,
a
what
pirate.
is it about to be?
So basically, it's basically don't waste food. Actually, was like the lesson, which the
This
gall,
was
the
again, this is
gall of them
now like the
saying
second
that.
episode in which like Ruby and Spears were like, fuck these kids, we're gonna learn something today. And then the network was like, hey, could you
Hey,
do something that makes this a kids show? And they were like, yeah, sure. Make Mr. T at the beginning talk about food scarcity and not wasting food.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. We
Yeah,
already
yeah,
animated the
don't waste
entire
food.
episode though. So it is going to be about this still.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think we just see he's like cooking out some. It's like a cookout. A bunch of kids are there at some summer camp, and he hands the kid a hot dog. The kid takes one bite of it and then like throws it in the trash can. And Mr. T's like, "Yo, whoa, let me tell you about one time my kids got hungry," or like, "Let me tell
He
you
like
about one time
he like
we
coined
tried
the
to
phase.
solve hunger."
He like
Yeah,
coined the phrase "they're starving kids in Africa" like in this
exactly.
episode.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Wow.
And this is okay, now I'm going off memory here a little bit because I was like, if we have time, I'll bring it up. But that actually, this conflict or this famine may actually have been where that phrase came from
Oh,
legit
really?
because it was this famine that led to like Live Aid and like Band Aid and
Oh,
we are
shit.
the world. Like I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
yeah.
that song was written to like fundraise money and for humanitarian relief efforts for the famine in
Whoa.
Ethiopia.
Holy
So a lot of
shit.
that stuff actually did come when we talk about that stuff, like they're starving kids in Africa, or
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we'll just do a freaking music
A
festival to raise
concert.
money for something exactly, or a concert, or look at all the artists coming together for a song. Like this is where that kind of cultural
Whoa.
phenomena started. Yeah. Which also is why they had to like weasel in
That's
that like
crazy.
charity gymnastics
Yeah,
tour
yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
That's like their Live Aid, but for gymnastics. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's the 80s is when all of that stuff started
That's
happening. Um,
crazy. Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So again, historical context of Mr.
Is
T.
extremely important. Not even like, yeah, like live action context of Mr. T. Also, I
Yeah.
was like, both before recording for both of our episodes that we recorded in one day today, you often
Yeah.
said we're gonna end, and you said it on air,
On a wild note.
this arc with a bang, and I was like, I don't know, is there gonna be an explosion somewhere? But
Oh, One
Exactly.
and explosion.
Have you heard of a machine gun? Excuse me. It's a many bangs all in a row.
Yeah. All right.
Automatic weapon.
It's
Yeah,
all
there's
round
gonna
of
be a lot of it. A
explosions.
round of
Yeah.
explosions. Yeah. So now I'm
I
seeing that
told
you
you.
really meant it. You
Yeah.
really literally meant end with the
I
bang.
literally meant
Okay.
it. And especially when I remembered that your last episode was the kidnapping episode, I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, Grace, we're gonna need
Shit's
to
getting.
decompress after
Yeah,
this
again,
'cause
we're getting silly, I'm sure next arc. It's gonna be
we're getting
silly.
like really true crimey as well. Like we're talking about real true
Yeah,
crime,
yeah, yeah,
historical events. So
yeah. Next arc is
yeah,
silly. This arc, we're gonna learn.
scary.
Again, scary. Okay,
Scary, very scary.
let's go. Let's get
So
these kids in
Mr.
their
T,
press
let's
passes for this
get
war
him to
zone.
this. Yeah, right.
They're white
Get
helmets with the
those.
blue cross on
Yeah,
it.
the
UN
blue helmets,
workers.
yeah.
Okay.
Get them in those UNESCO suits, or maybe
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
UNESCO. I forget which
The
agency at the
best. Yeah.
UN.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Great.
So Mr. T explains that, yep, they've got to go see it to believe it. So they get on a plane. Very shortly after this meet, I think they go straight to the airport. The O'Neills are like, God damn it, we took our eyes off of them for 2 seconds and now they're going to Africa. Yeah. They like went to the bathroom real quick to use the bathroom before taking
They're
Spike
gone.
back home. They come back and everyone's gone.
Just like the
And
door's
Robin's
still like swinging open.
yeah, you like see the smoke from the exhaust from the
Yeah,
bus
from the
like still
bus.
lingering in the parking lot. Yeah.
God damn it. Takes his hat
Damn
off, throws it
it.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Also, I'm so sorry. One last thing. And this,
Okay.
I'm so sorry. It's gonna be a long episode. This, in my mind, is also Mr. T. Just fucking sick of these rich kids shit.
Oh God. Oh God, he's like, we got to knock you kids down a peg. You know, these
Exactly.
kids are rich too. To be like this
Right, we've
level
seen the
of,
O'Neill's
yeah,
house. Like, to be
exactly.
traveling,
Yeah.
probably getting like homeschooled to like constantly be competing. Gymnastics, every
Mhm.
elite sport is expensive. Like when you get to this
Woody,
level, like
Woody is a high schooler already planning on going to law school.
right,
Like
exactly. Like
that's
studying for the
rich kid
LSAT
problems.
already.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
sir, most of us are trying to figure out how we can even afford college, let
We're trying to
alone
pass
like
the SAT, no less.
exactly. And he's like, oh
LSAT.
well, my parents already bought my way into college. They're going to buy my way into law school next.
Right.
It's just
I'm
a
no
matter
which
of
law
which
school I'm going
one.
to. Yeah. Do I go to
Exactly.
Harvard or Yale? It's so hard to
Right.
pick. Yeah, so this is Mr. T being like, oh, these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They're getting some
We
real
got-
life lessons. They didn't learn
Exactly.
enough from the other ones. Okay. so
These kids have
perspective
never seen
change.
someone starve before.
Right.
They're about
Yeah.
to learn. Mhm.
They think
So-
starving is the B team eating the continental breakfast at the hotel.
That's the biggest struggle any of them have ever gone through.
Right, they must be so
not being
hungry.
invited to the A team's like team breakfast.
Brunch, yeah. They're like, they
Yeah,
must be
team brunch.
starving. You could even carb load. All you had was the eggs and gross sausage. Like, oh, they must be so hungry. I brought an
Little
extra
silver
granola bar
dollar
for
pancakes.
you.
Yeah. It's like half eaten.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So yes, they land in Samana bright and early the next morning, and they make their way directly to the harbor so that they can welcome the last ship that they have funded through their efforts.
Okay.
But they get there and they're waiting for a bit
Mhm.
and waiting for a bit
Okay.
and waiting for a little bit longer.
Okay.
And then eventually they're like, wait a minute. This thing was supposed to get here right around the same time as us, if not shortly before we got here. So
Yeah.
something must have happened.
Yeah.
And moments later, a dock worker comes running up to Mr. T and his gang and tells them that the last ship has gone missing and reportedly taken by pirates.
Also,
So yes, this was
that's
the
like
ship we saw at the beginning, as you all deduced. What were you gonna
of
say?
just like the context of this being like, so about 50,000 people aren't going to eat now. Like,
Yeah.
he kid show, this boat was taken by pirates. He.
Oh,
So
don't worry,
tens
Grace.
of thousands of kids are.
It's not just the context of that. They say that later. The Red Cross woman later straight up says, we'll get there. But
Yeah,
don't you,
okay.
why would they hide the ball? Why would they do that? They want,
Right.
the point is to learn a lesson.
It's
Like
to learn.
if you want to inform people and educate people.
You have to tell them.
Teachers out there, you know this better than anyone. Be direct. Just be straight up. Tell them how it is. Yeah, that's exactly what Ruby and Spears are doing here. They're not hiding the ball. Kids will learn. People are going to die here shortly.
Right. Because of the scenario
does not step up. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Perfect. So, okay. Great.
Yeah. The dock worker tells him about these pirates, and then he pleads with Mr. T to help. And they say it here too, actually, as his people are starving and will not survive without the food. But he also tells Mr. T, this is where, again, more life lessons for kids, that criminals here often steal this food from the ships, or they steal the ships entirely.
Yeah.
And then they sell the products on the black market.
For probably a lot more. Yeah.
And Spike looks up at Mr. T and says, Mr. T, what's the black market? And Mr.
If this was a Magic School Bus, all of a sudden they're like in a bag of Coke on the black market being sold. They're about to be snorted into someone's nose.
They're like, yeah, it's a study on human organs, and they're like in a jar, like organs that are being sold. Like, all right, guys, can we identify what this organ is?
Yeah, where are we? Okay, what is
it's
Mr.
like,
T?
Why are we in a jar, Mrs. Frizzle?
Yeah. This is formaldehyde. Okay, what does Mr. T tell Spike?
He tells Spike that the black market is a place where criminals sell anything for a price that people can't afford. So basically, like upsell, like you said, expensive, criminals sell anything.
He's right. He's right.
He's right. It's like in the most basic and PG sense. Yeah, that is what one is. That is the black market.
Anything is broad enough for this show. Yeah, it's
anything. Exactly. So Mr. T tells this dock worker guy that they'll catch these scum, like, how dare they steal food right out of children's mouths.
Yep.
And that they're going to end all of this theft and piracy for once and for all. And so their plan to do this is to kind of go undercover and try to gain information about the local criminal mob or, more speculation on that later. We'll get there later. And so Mr. T and Woody decide to handle this while everyone else kind of stays back.
Okay.
They're like, all right, we'll go and get the intel for obvious reasons, I think.
That's why I made that face.
You have to say it,
on YouTube. I was like, your son Robin? To the rebels?
Or Jeff. Could you imagine? Long, shaggy, freaking sandy hair, brown-haired white kid. Yeah, no.
Mr. Robin that ginger hair to the rebel camp.
All her freckles.
Ethiopia. Just
and
okay.
So it's just Mr. T and Woody.
Okay.
And to that note, because Woody is still a teenager, though.
We're still a child.
And we were just making fun of him for being a super rich, wealthy, spoiled kid too. So he changes into a 1980s typical punk street kid outfit where he's got a black tank top on and sweatbands on his wrists and a bandana tied around his forehead, and he's got sunglasses on and everything. And he's trying to act all tough and everything, which fair. I mean, they are trying to infiltrate the East African black market here. So I guess you should probably try it.
Do something.
Act a little tough, do something. Yeah. And they approach a man, or they go into this tent city where I guess folks talk about a lot of the crime being organized out of. And in this tent city, it's loaded with a bunch of large looking men with weapons, probably if not machetes and knives and crates, probably some guns or a lot of crates and everything.
Yeah.
And of course, several of these men look a lot like the men who we saw actually board that ship and take it over. And so they go to a man sitting at the end of this tent city, just surrounded by guards, sitting in almost a little throne of sorts, has people fanning him and shit.
Okay.
And obviously they're like, all right, this guy must be in charge here. He must be the leader.
Yeah.
And this man is a shorter African man in a blue suit with thick rimmed glasses. Yep. Hanging out of the chest pocket. And this man introduces himself to Mr. T and Woody as Mr. Ruba. So Ruba, obviously, this is the guy who we saw on the ship earlier as well, leading that charge
Mhm.
to pirate the ship away from the humanitarian aid group. He tells them that around here, profit lies in food, and he can get either of those for him, aka for Mr. T. And
Okay.
Mr. T is like, well, I only want to talk to the man in charge. Like, if I'm going to do business or work with you guys, then I got to
Yeah.
take it to the top. And Ruba tells him that his boss never meets with anyone and that Mr. T will have to settle for Ruba instead.
Okay.
And Mr. T does not take this well. He
Nope.
literally yeets Ruba's guards to the side and then closes in on him. He just like picks him up and like throws him
Sir,
behind him.
sir, look at these crates. Look
And
in one
then
single crate. What do you think's in here?
we think he
What
doesn't
are you
care.
doing, sir?
Yeah, he does not care.
No.
But Ruba is impressed by this. He's like,
Okay.
okay, well, hold on now. Okay, no, fine. I'll tell the boss that you want to meet
Okay.
if that's how it's got to be. And he's looking at him like, okay, good help is hard to come by. Like, I mean,
All right.
none of you guys can yeet full grown men over
Right.
your heads, like looking around at all of his guards, like, hey, come on.
And also, like,
Step
to
up.
keep in mind, too, that, like, Mr. T's haircut is inspired by, I can't remember what region, the, like, Manduka.
Mandinka. Yeah,
Yeah, the
Mandinka, which I
Manduka,
don't
like,
know where in Africa
warriors.
that is. Is that east or south? I forget, but still, it's
Definitely
yeah.
not Ethiopia and Somalia, I don't
No,
think, but,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think a pretty famous, like, people and,
Custom
like,
and
warriors.
people,
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
yeah.
But, like, pretty,
So people would see him for sure, and a lot of places in Africa probably would be
yes.
like, "Oh, interesting, like that." He's at least a good fighter because he
Right,
clearly is
exactly.
accustomed to their kind of warrior traditions, or at least like wants
Yeah,
to give off that sort of vibe.
yes.
But
Oh,
um,
it's Western Africa. It's the Mandika
ah,
and
Mandinka,
West
okay,
Africa. Okay, anyway, sorry. I was
gotcha.
just like, it's gonna drive me crazy. Also,
I
if it
no,
was the
I'm glad
same
I
region,
was
it would have been
stalling.
crazy. Yeah.
That would have been even crazier. That's why I was like, I'm stalling because I want to know as well. I'm
Right,
giving her
exactly.
time
That's
to
why I was
look
like,
it
I just
up.
gotta look
Yeah.
really fast to know if
Okay, so
it's the
East
same.
Africa. Interesting. Huh. Okay. So
Anyways.
later that afternoon, Mr. T and Woody, they go back to the harbor, back by the docks, and they are waiting in a warehouse where they are scheduled to discuss quote unquote business with
Okay.
Ruba and his boss.
Okay.
But this time, now that Woody and Mr. T are like, okay, I think we're on the right trail. I think we may have found the people who stole the food and and pirated the ship. They now have called Kim, Robin, Jeff, Spike, and I guess Dozer to come and like be
Okay.
backup in case anything happens. So
Yeah.
we see all of them like hiding out on top of some container crates in this same warehouse. Okay. And then in walks Ruba along with the large man in the white suit.
Right.
Saber is his name, which I was like, damn, that's like straight out of a fucking comic book, bro.
I know, that's pretty cool.
Saber.
Yeah.
And he's in an all white suit.
Yeah.
But we now see the face of this guy because remember earlier he was like in shadow and it was foggy, so we couldn't see him. And listen, sorry, not sorry. We're very accepting and body positive on this podcast. But this dude, like, blame the animators, not me. This guy is a gelatinous glob of a human being.
You know, this guy's a fucking war criminal. Fuck him. Exactly. He's a glob. He's a Jabba the Hutt.
War criminal, straight up. And they did that intentionally. They did not have to draw. They drew multiple. He's got multiple chins. He's got multiple like cheek dimples and everything.
Good.
And
Fuck
obviously he's got a big belly.
We can shit talk him.
Like you said, straight up like Jabba the Hutt, straight up like a warlord, showing the clear gluttony of this guy who's hoarding food. Exactly. Yeah.
Damn. The animator said, let's shove this down everyone's throats. Like, this man is a glutton in this starving country.
And he's the ringleader of it all. And he's the only white man, too.
And he's the white man. Yeah.
They were putting that out there. Mr. T points that out multiple times. He says, like, we're looking for a white man, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, shit. Jeez. But, like, but I mean, also it's true. Again, blame the animators. We're just the messengers.
To overly emphasize too, like the white suit, the white teeth, the white hat, like this glob of a man, warlord in this other country, making things worse. is my man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to pinpoint his accent. Like sometimes it kind of sounds like Southern United States,
Oh,
sometimes it kind of
interesting.
sounds German, sometimes it kind of sounds Australian.
Honestly, probably
But
on
basically,
purpose. Be
it's
like,
Western. He's a Western
everyone.
person.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're like we're taking shots at
Name a
all.
white person. This could be
All of
them.
y'all. Exactly. You will be offended. Like shots
Yeah, it
fired.
could have been
Blame
someone
Ruby and
from,
Spears, not us, okay?
but you know what?
Sorry. Yeah,
Are they
hey,
wrong?
we're choosing. No, they're not. We're choosing to cover it this way. So, hey, anyways,
Exactly.
so this gelatinous human being of a man, or kind of a man, he struts in with Ruba and he asks Mr. T, like, why he apparently wants a cut of his business. Like, I hear
Yeah.
you want to
Like,
meet
who
with
the fuck
me
are
because you
you?
want a cut of my business. Yeah, who are you?
Yeah.
Why are you throwing my henchmen around and
Yeah.
scaring Ruba? But he particularly asks, like, so I guess you want a cut of this shipload that we just got in, the shipload of food.
Okay.
I just have to point out here, watching this on Tubi, where you can watch this show,
Yeah.
if you
Commercial
watch with
break.
captions, it literally says shitload in the captions. And I was like, this is what
Tubi.
happens
What is a
to
free
like,
free service?
good.
But you know
This is
what?
what happens when the Department of Education doesn't do your captioning for you.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
A shitload.
A
I mean, but it's
shitload.
applicable still. It is a shitload of food.
That's so
So, yeah.
funny.
But I just
Beautiful.
laughed because I was like reading the captions, like,
You're
whoa,
like,
surely that's not what
what
he just
is it?
said.
Again, Ruby and
Like,
Spears said we're getting real in this episode.
yeah. They're like, no, he said shitload,
No, he said
but
shitload.
he
The
said
shitload of
shitload.
food.
They like look at the parents complaining, like, don't act like you've never said that in front of your kids before.
We're talking about war crimes here. Okay. What's
Okay.
the kid's gonna hear one bad word?
Sorry. Let me clutch my pearls harder. Oh, you
Yeah.
don't like war? Oh, you
That's
don't
your
like war?
only so hard in America.
Yeah.
We're watching
Ugh.
this. Oh.
Oh man. So, anyways, shit quickly falls apart because
Yeah.
Saber is very quickly able to realize that this is a trap,
Um,
mostly because all those damn kids on top of the shipping container are making noise.
dude. Dude.
That's part of it. I think Mr.
It
T kind of
looks
gives
up,
up the
sees a group
gig.
of white kids, and is like,
Yeah.
well, you're
No, legit
obviously
though. Legit. The Saber looks up and you just see like Robin and Jeff's heads peeked over. They're like, it's a trap.
He sees them gleaning. That's actually what we saw. He saw like the sun hit them, you know, that like reflective, that like
The reflection like bounced off.
yeah, like, oh, what's over here? Where are my sunglasses?
What is
What the
that?
fuck are these kids?
It's a trap.
He's like, I'm the only
So,
white guy in charge here. Who are these kids trying to take
what's
over
going on?
my
Yeah, I
operation?
don't know. There's only room for one. Literally
Wow.
room. He's massive.
Taking up
So the kids do fight off Sabers, goons. He calls in a bunch more henchmen to come back
Yeah.
him up and fight these teenagers that are scaring him. And Saber and Ruba run out of there because obviously they're the ones in charge, so they got to get to safety. Yeah. And while the kids are like fighting off all the lower level mercenary goons, Mr. T chases after them, after Saber and Ruba. But eventually everyone's able to get away.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just say everyone's gonna
They
get away. You'll love
okay.
that scene when you watch it. Just
okay,
everyone go watch this episode. There's so much more that I have to cut out to like keep this from being 2 hours long.
Yes.
But there's a lot of shenanigans in that fight. So after everyone gets away, though, Mr. T tells the gang that they need to find a car very quickly and follow their trail before they get too far off.
Okay.
So somehow they find a Jeep and they all hop in and they make their way through the barren and like empty and very depressing desert land, trying to follow after their tracks because you can like see the tire tracks in the sand and everything.
Yeah. I just keep sighing, by the way, because like I'm feeling just things are getting worse for them. Like the scenario is getting worse. So I just sorry for the audio of me just being like, I'm just trying to stay calm.
I feel like that was me all last week, Grace. I just kept heavy sighing into the microphone because I was like, this is so bad. And just words cannot explain. I just need to take a deep breath and exhale and try to like recenter myself.
Over here. Yeah, okay. So they're
It's just what's happening on this side of
yeah, just
things.
when you edit the audio, you're like, what the fuck is Grace doing? And it's really just me trying to like, I don't know. I don't know.
Just
Stay here.
not
Stay on this earth.
explode.
Yeah.
Yes, not just
Okay.
float away.
Yeah.
So while they're driving through this very sad, desolate desert, they're like pointing out how terrible this all is. Not just like the food being stolen, but they're looking around like, oh my God, this is like, yeah, clearly you can't grow anything here. This
Yeah,
is
it's like
terrible. This is so
arid. Yeah.
dry. Yeah, so arid, right? And Kim then, with her encyclopedic knowledge, tells
Yeah.
them that it actually hasn't rained in that area since like when she said like May of 1981 or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's been like years.
And I think this episode came out in 1985. Yeah,
Yeah.
1985. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe if it was produced like in 1984 or something. So, like, at least 3 years that the writers are saying, like, it has not rained here.
Yeah.
And Mr. T further explains that, like, yeah, a lot of the drought led to cattle in the area dying off. And they see groups of
Hmm.
tribesmen kind of, yeah, that's one part of what happened. And
But
they
I mean,
see
yeah.
groups of tribesmen like walking across the land with their remaining cattle, and they're just like so thin. The men and the cattle are like so
Oh
thin and gaunt
God.
and just like slowly walking through. And Mr. T
Oh
says,
God.
like, yeah, they used to have herds of 100 and hundreds of cattle, and now they can barely even survive. And you just see like three little like starving cows walking with these like starving men.
If Robin's in the back crying, be like, we've learned our lesson, Mr. T.
We get it. Can we get to the hotel now, please, sir?
We
It's hot.
understand.
Yeah. Oh, but no, there's so much more to learn.
So much more to
And
learn.
the kids, though, they are like, as you're saying, not full on crying, but they are fully like, oh my God,
Culture
yeah, like
shocking. Yeah.
pictures, exactly. Like pictures cannot do this justice. Like you
Yeah.
really do. You're right, Mr. T. We really did have to see this to believe it,
Yeah.
which also is them just being like, you're right, we learned it. We learned. We
We
did, we
learned.
saw it. Let's
You
go.
said we have to see it,
Yeah,
and we saw it.
we saw it.
You said it.
I'm hungry.
Let's go home. Okay.
So eventually, after a lot of driving, the group does come upon a Red Cross outpost. Shout out to the Red Cross.
Hell yeah.
And I assume this is in a non-insurgent area in this fictional country of Samana.
At least at this
Because
moment.
at this moment, right? Because this is like that social transformation that we were talking about, like the two
Mm,
government strategies. You have counterinsurgency and then you have like social engineering, right? This is the
yeah.
social engineering part where
Right.
they're
Like
not
I'll
trying to
provide
like
aid.
spend exactly
Yeah.
like look at us helping the Red Cross come in here and like giving them access to the
We
roads and
allowed them in
everything.
here.
Exactly. So that you guys can get your food in the small village. We have your best interests at heart. Like,
Right.
don't
We
listen to those
provided it.
insurgents that live just to the north of you. Exactly. We
Yeah.
provided it. We're helping it get in. So
Whew, okay.
this small village is obviously they're receiving medical assistance from the Red Cross and they're getting
Yeah.
food aid through the Red Cross. And this, I think, is like the actual like outpost that Mr. T's team was supposed to be working with all
Oh, and like
along. And
bringing
they're
the
like,
food
okay,
too.
it's on the way as we're chasing these guys down. We
Yeah.
might as well stop here too. Yes. So they pull over there and they get out, and Mr. T speaks with the Red Cross worker who's running this outpost. And like I said before, it's just one lady that we see. Maybe there's other people because we see multiple tents set up kind of on the
Oh.
outskirts of this village, but
Yeah.
she's the only like worker we see. And this poor lady, she's clearly like probably pushing 50 years old or something. She looks a little older. She's
Oh,
got bags under her eyes.
I
Like she just
bet.
looks like tired, but also she's going, she's working. She's
Ugh.
coming straight up to Mr. T without even saying hi first. She's like, "Have you found the stolen food? Has you gotten any
Ugh.
track on it?" Just like so worried and concerned about these
Business. Yeah.
people, meaning business, exactly. And Mr. T says, just, unfortunately, no, we still haven't found it. But I promise you, we're trying, like we're doing
Yeah.
everything we can. And then the lady gets real with them and she's like, listen, these people that I'm helping, direct quote here, she says, they will die if we don't find that food. They will die if we don't find that food. quote unquote, implying that like you could send another ship now and it doesn't
It won't be
matter. Like
enough.
they're gonna die before, well, that and they're gonna
Yeah.
die before it
Oh
gets
yeah, that's what
here
I mean. Yeah.
even. Yeah, yeah. But like, and
Like
even
these
then, like
people,
it won't be enough and it'll be too late and too little. Like
yes, too little, too late.
not mincing
Also,
words. Yeah.
yeah, right. Of just like kids, are you all listening? All of you?
Hmm. Kids are
Also,
starving in Africa. Hello.
just
Don't just throw your
imagining
hot
like
dog away.
the
Hmm.
fact that this is, like obviously a kid show, but like on cable TV, and then all of a sudden like cutting to a commercial for like some fruity cereal, and like the kids are just
Or for
like,
like Burger King, like
right, the
have it
kids are
your way
just,
at
the
BK.
kids are just like dead-eyed staring at the TV, like, I don't think I want Burger King anymore.
Yeah. Like the parents
Effective.
ask them like, "Hey, do you want to go get Burger King for lunch today?" I don't want to eat. Kids are
No.
starving in
Right.
Africa.
Just
The
like
parents like, "What the
the kids
fuck?
are
Are
gonna
you just watching?"
die. Oh, what did you
Yeah.
just say?
Everyone's gonna
They're
die,
gonna
Mom.
die.
What?
Right. They learned about mortality in this episode.
Yeah. And
Wow.
like the importance of food. They learned about the interconnectedness of food and mortality
Yeah.
today. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
need one to maintain the other.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So
Wow.
seeing that the Red Cross worker is like very distressed and
Yeah.
scared,
As you would be.
the teens all huddle together for a moment while Mr. T is speaking with her. And they come from their huddle and they run up to the adults and tell them that they would like to donate their own provisions, like the ones that they brought for their
Uh-huh.
personal, like their little group, in hopes that it'll at least hold the people over until the team and Mr. T can get this ship back or get all the food, the
Yeah.
stolen food recovered and everything. So they're like, listen, take all of our food. We'll be back as soon as we can with everything else.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a group of six people, four,
Yeah.
five, six people. And also like, for like a trip driving through the desert and everything, like they
Right.
load off a couple of like pretty big boxes
Yeah.
of like crates of food and they
Right. They
give
don't
them
know I'm
to
gonna be
the Red
there.
Cross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it enough? Obviously not. But the Red Cross woman is like, thank you so
I'll
much.
take
Like
fucking
this, yeah,
anything.
I will take anything. She
Yeah.
literally says at one point, like, we used the last of the rice yesterday. Like, there's no more
Oh
rice.
God.
Which like,
Okay.
oh shit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's yeah. So she's just happy to get anything. And she's like, this will at least get us through the night and like maybe
Yeah.
through breakfast tomorrow. Thank you. So Mr. T is obviously very proud of them. Like, thank you, kids. Like, I
Yeah.
was really hoping you would offer it, but like, I wasn't going to be the one to force you to do it or to offer
Yeah.
it up for you. But the fact that you all came together and like democratically made that decision, good
Yeah.
job.
Pretty big. Yeah.
So they go off and they are like, all right, we gotta keep finding these guys or keep searching after them.
Yeah.
Or actually, sorry, before they go off, someone in the village is like trying to be helpful, seeing that they're getting food from these people now. And they're like, did you say you're looking for someone or like you're trying to chase after someone?
Uh-huh.
Because yeah, like I think we saw a group moving through the area not that long ago. And Mr. T is literally like, yeah, well, it was a white man and a group of mercenaries in a Jeep, right?
Emphasis on the white man. You saw the white
White
guy?
man in a
His
group of
white suit?
mercenaries in a Jeep, quote
Yeah.
unquote, exactly what he says. Just saying.
Hey,
And,
he's just
and
saying what he
literally,
sees.
and when he
He's a good
says
witness.
that, literally the villagers are all just like, yeah, they went that way. I think, oh, white man and mercenaries in a
Oh
Jeep.
yeah, we're
That
there.
way over towards the hills. They're heading north that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's right there.
So thankfully, they are able to follow Saber and Ruba's trail for a little bit longer, heading north deeper into the desert. But this drive is long and it's hot
Mhm.
out. It's the middle of the day, obviously, in this barren desert.
Yep.
And a desert that has sandstorms. So they do
Oh
kind of run into a
no.
sandstorm while they're trying to get through this desert and chase after them.
Yep.
And because they have to go through a sandstorm, they have to like pull off the road and kind of like hunker down
Yeah,
under
and
blankets
wait.
for a little bit and kind of like set up camp for a little bit and just rest. So while they're camping here, they're kind of like by some ruins as well. Um, they decide to like start a fire. They wrap themselves up in these blankets and they just
Okay.
kind of huddle together. It's getting laid out, like the sun's
Oh
going
no.
down.
Okay.
Obviously, they're tired from being in the sun all day. They haven't
Yeah.
eaten all day because they've been chasing down these criminals, and they just gave all their provisions to
They also
that
have no
village, which
training to be in this environment at all.
none
Okay,
at all.
keep
Mr.
thinking about
T is
that.
giving them the training as they go. Like as they're
Yeah,
running
this
away
part
from
of
the
their assassin
sandstorm,
mission
he's
is
telling
training.
them.
Yeah,
Dude, I literally, at some point in my script, I literally have like, and in the last step of their assassin training,
is
this
surviving the
happens.
elements. Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
exactly. So they're taking this break. They're kind of camping out as night is falling in the desert, and they're hungry
Right.
and tired.
Great, great.
But as they're starting to fall asleep a little bit and getting their rest, it is interrupted by Saber and his mercenaries,
Oh,
who I guess maybe were also hiding out near these ruins. Maybe they also got
that
caught in the
sandstorm.
sandstorm. And
Yeah.
exactly, we're just like, well, we got to go here. And I think they overheard Mr. T and the kids like setting up the campfire and
Mm.
everything. And I think that they thought Mr. T died after that like fight at the warehouse. Again,
Oh.
watch the episode, you'll
Oh
see it's part of all
God.
the shenanigans.
Okay.
So they're like, oh shit, he's still alive. Like we got to go take him out because otherwise they would have
Yeah.
just kept running or kept
Yeah,
moving.
yeah.
But in this case, they're like, no, 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 this is 2 times now that we're running into this guy. We got
Yes,
to
it's
get
getting on
rid
our
of him.
tail.
And so they're like, Saber and his mercenaries are like riding in on horseback and like camelback, like
Damn.
running towards Mr. T and the teens, like charging
Uh,
towards them, ready to attack them. But the kids run and hide and find shelter in these ruins that they were camping out by.
okay.
But Saber, he's not willing to like let them just hide in there. Again, he's trying to get rid of them because they
Again,
keep
he's a
interfering
warlord.
in his business because he's a warlord and
He's
that's
not
what
just gonna let you
warlords do. They
stay.
kill innocent people.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
like their whole thing.
So he tells his gang, it's their whole thing. It's like the thing about them.
Yeah.
So he tells the gang to cover all of the entrances and like exits to these ruins by basically just like moving massive rocks and boulders in front of them and like
Uh,
turning massive stones over in front of them so that they're just totally blocked off.
yeah.
And the team is now trapped inside of these ruins at night
No
in the
supplies.
desert. No supplies, no food, no water,
Yeah. No.
just each other.
Fair.
And maybe a few little tools that Mr. T appears to have on his person, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm
What?
like, damn, where'd that come from? But
But
anyways,
that's not food and water.
it's not food and water, though. It doesn't matter. So the team is in these ruins and they're obviously trying to find any way out, but instead they kind of get trapped even deeper down inside of a dungeon that is like through some tunnels and
Oh, no.
everything.
Okay.
And Spike, once they're face to face with just like a stone wall in this dungeon, Spike looks up at Mr. T and says, quote unquote, "Are we gonna die, Mr. T?"
Yes. Sorry,
Yes,
Spike.
yes, we are. Hate to tell it to you now like this, but we are.
We absolutely are, yeah. I mean, Spike's a real one. Spike's saying what everyone's thinking.
Exactly. He's asking the real questions here. What is
Spike's
the black market?
Been
Are we gonna
through
die?
some shit.
Recently,
That's
as
like
we've
one of those
discussed.
things where like a kid goes through trauma and so they're like kind of forced to grow up kind of thing, like in order to deal with the trauma.
Basically
That's what happened to
yeah.
Spike. Like
Literally, because he's asking very adult questions right
Yeah,
now that none of
exactly.
the other kids are asking. Yeah.
no, but Spike knows.
The other kids are like,
Spike,
we don't even want to think about that. And
right.
Spike's like, oh, that's all I can think about.
I have thought about death so many times.
Yeah.
Everyone has a human shield. Yeah.
Like last fucking week, guys. Remember that one time?
I look death in the eyes. Okay, let's go.
So obviously Mr. T reassures him, like, nah, you can't kill Mr. T, or like you can't end Mr. T or something, whatever clever, witty, tough guy thing he says. The kids are not as confident though. Like they're pretty certain like that there's no way out of this dungeon.
Yeah.
And they see that they've only gone deeper and deeper underground at this point. So Mr. T just tells them that they'll have to make their own way out of here. And so they all like start to like pick up rocks off the ground and like just start banging them against some of the cracks in between the stones on the walls. And at this point, this is where I'm like, where did Mr. T get that from? Like, I feel like he pulls out a little dagger and like a little knife and like a chisel or whatever. And they're all just hitting at whatever they can, trying to break these stones apart to like put a hole in this literal stone wall. Yeah. Eventually, it gets even later, and the team is getting really hungry from just
Yeah.
banging rocks on
Bro, like
walls
they're
all
doing manual
day.
labor right now.
Yeah. And they're like yawning. And, Mr. T does straight up tell them, like, you guys have deserved some rest. Like, I'm really proud of you guys today. You've
Yeah.
put in a lot of
Oh,
work. I did not plan on us getting into this situation when I said I would bring us all out here to
I
deliver this
really
food. So you
overlooked a
guys
couple
go ahead
aspects.
and rest. I forgot that this was all the result of a civil war
Right.
and
I
that
do need
Sabre is
to,
probably being paid by the government to withhold aid and distribute it only into certain
yeah.
non-insurgent areas, and it's getting dicey. So hey, you guys go ahead
Take
and
a
take
little
a
nap.
nap.
I
Let me
need a
go ahead
couple
and keep
hours
trying
to
to
make a
break this
plan
wall
here.
down.
You need a couple hours uninterrupted with your questions for me to make a plan for us to survive right now.
I
So,
need
yeah, go to
silence.
sleep. You guys deserve it.
Yeah, just shh, 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 shh. Close your eyes. When you wake up, we're
Okay.
gonna have breakfast at the O'Neill's. Just think about it,
Just
and
think about
it's
that.
gonna
Oh, it'll be
be
so
perfect.
nice. Sweat
Yes.
dripping down his
Yeah.
brow.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're
As like
gonna
they're
be
running out of
fine.
oxygen in this
Yeah.
enclosed space.
They're like
Heavy
hearing
breathing.
gunshots way in the distance. Like,
Yeah, from the Civil
it's
War. Yeah. We're fine. We're
fine.
fine.
We're
Everyone's
fine. Totally
fine.
fine. Okay.
So it's not fine.
No.
Um, Woody eventually wakes up from this nap because, it's really hard to nap and to like rest when you're starving, when
When
you're
you're in his
really
war
hungry.
zone. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're in a war zone, like you said, he heard those gunshots from over
Yeah.
the hills, he was like, "Oh shit, what was
Yeah.
that?" And he
Yeah.
wakes up, and
He's
the
so
first thing he
hungry.
says, he just sits up against the wall in the dungeon, and he's just like, "I'm so hungry. I could
Yeah.
eat almost anything." And then, funniest thing that's ever happened in this show, Grace, right? When Woody says, "I could eat almost anything," we see Dozer wake up and shoots his head up and he looks at Woody and he like lets out a low, soft growl, like, "Mm."
Don't
And
fucking come
Woody's
near
like, "No,
me.
no, no." Woody's like, "Not you, Dozer. You're too tough." And then Dozer just puts his head back down and goes back to sleep.
Look, I know he meant tough, as in like he's a tough boy, but tough
But
meat.
no, I think he meant tough as in, we don't have a tenderizer with us,
Right, exactly. Like, well, I'm gonna eat anything, but I still have class. I'm gonna prepare you
Exactly.
correctly. And I,
It's like if I can't marinate you to kind of like
right, I'm
loosen
actually
some
not
of those,
that desperate yet.
yeah, then it's yeah, but no,
But,
you're good, dude. You're good,
but
but
also that means he sized him
hilarious.
up.
He did.
He said, "You're too tough."
He's
He
just
sized him up already.
he knew. But
Oh,
just yeah, the way Dozier's head shot up, I was like, no, they didn't just imply that they might eat a
those are
fucking dog in this children's show.
Ruby and Spears. Sit down.
Sit down,
Sit down.
like learn a lesson. So
Oh God. Oh
um
God. Dozer's like clawing out the wall to get out.
he is later, actually. It's funny.
Yeah.
He's just like, okay, no,
He's
we're
the
getting the
most
fuck out
desperate
of here.
now.
In just a
Yeah.
minute, that absolutely happens.
Yep.
So the rest of the kids wake up and they also look like they're not going to make it. Like they're all just looking very
A
hungry
little
and so
ragged.
tired and fatigued. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, as they're sitting there just watching Mr. T still bang against this wall, trying to chisel away at the stones, they see a pretty large snake like sneaking its way
Oh
into
God.
the dungeon from above, like from a crack in the stones in the ceiling of this
Okay.
dungeon. And they're like, "Oh my God, Mr. T, look, oh shit, oh my God, what do we do?" And Mr.
Yeah.
T's like, "Everyone stay still, just stay calm."
Okay.
And in the next shot, Grace, we legitimately see the snake roasting over a fire and the entire team huddled around it.
Oh my God.
Like they're all on their knees, just like leaned in over this
I'm
fire, looking as the
so
snake is just
hungry.
roasting.
Oh my God.
And so
Oh my God.
Mr. T, he pulls the snake off of the fire.
Oh my God.
He whips out that dagger that he somehow had,
Just cuts it up.
and he starts cutting this roasted snake into little disc-sized pieces. And he
Everyone's
just
just,
hands it,
ah.
starts doling them out, passing them out to the kids.
Oh my God.
And all the kids are holding these little discs of roasted snake, and they're
Uh-huh.
just looking at each other like, And then they just start eating.
I won't tell if you won't tell.
Like at first, Robin's like, I can't believe I'm gonna eat snake. And Woody's like, yeah, after you, like you go ahead, you go
Go
first.
for
And
it.
she nibbles into it and she's like, it's not that bad.
Oh, a huge bite out of it next. Fucking starving. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Spike takes a bite and he's like, wow, I can't believe I'm eating snake.
Oh my God.
And Mr. T's just like, yep, the first rule of survival, kids, like know what you can eat and eat what's available. It's like,
Part of that assassin training. He's like, look, you're going to be dropped in
which
when
is where
you're an
I had that line,
assassin.
by the way,
Oh my God,
of
yes.
like, and in the last step of their mercenary training, they are forced to
Yes.
eat this roasted snake.
Right. Like
Yeah.
you're going to be dropped into many war zones. You're going to need to know the different ecosystems, the different climates, what you can and can't eat.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So at this point I had to kind of just like step back and kind of reframe the plot of this episode as kids eating roasted snake to avoid total starvation in the civil war torn region of the Horn of Africa as they chase down a criminal terrorist syndicate group that's stealing humanitarian aid and selling it off on the black market. That's the plot of this episode.
And you know what?
Of a children's show.
I was about to say, and you know what? Of a children's show. And you know what? Like what is this? Like Gen Xers are watching this, right? Like, what generation is watching this as a kid? It's not a millennial
Gen X,
yet.
Yeah. Young millennials and older Gen Xers.
Very young, yeah. And I'm like,
it's like right on the cusp.
I'm like, I'm so sorry to all of them. Like, I'm so sorry. You just wanted to watch a nice little romp of some gymnasts and everyone's favorite Mr. T. And instead, this is what you woke up to. But also, you gotta learn one day.
And that was the day you learned, like, hey, at least some snakes are safe to eat, I guess.
Yeah. Learned a lot of other things this episode. And again, why I was like, what's the starting lesson of this episode? Because I could tell from the jump. There's going to be a lot of lessons today.
Oh, yeah. And I can assure you, not a bit of that snake went to waste. All right. They ate all of it.
I don't doubt it.
I
don't doubt it. Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, the snake, thankfully, it's all the protein that they need to fuel them up and enough to keep them, energized and awake here and to give them like the second wind that they need to start chipping away at this wall, helping Mr. T more to try to break through these stones in the dungeon. And eventually they are able to like break enough cracks in one of them that they can pull it out. And then that leads to them being able to move another one out of the way and another one and several more until they've created a massive hole in the wall that they can just kind of like one by one climb through and escape. But unfortunately, they escape into what is now full-on broad daylight. So they ended up being trapped in here all night. They had no light in there, so they couldn't tell. They are still obviously in the middle of the desert. And even worse, they realize that Saber stole their Jeep.
I mean,
so they gotta walk back to camp by foot.
You might as well start digging a grave.
You might as well hope that another snake comes down through this dungeon again. And hopefully this one's venomous and just ends it.
Ends it for you.
Because
just makes it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have to hook it
because
back.
now they face a new and dangerous challenge. They gotta walk back yet again.
Yes, a new and dangerous challenge. Another. Every corner.
Every corner. And the gang also, so remember, yes, they have eaten now. And, eating protein under these situations is probably like the best thing that could happen for them too, for sure. But they still don't have any water and they still haven't had anything to drink. So they're super thirsty and it's broad daylight now.
Oh, God.
But it's also morning time. So as they're walking, it's getting hotter and hotter as the sun continues to rise, right? And so eventually, miles later, they do come upon another small community in the desert, I assume
Yeah.
again in a non-insurgent area,
Yes.
because they welcome them in. And this
Oh
community
my
does have
God.
like some rations of food. I think they're making like a
Oh
root
my God.
soup or
That they
stew or
even
something.
share.
They share a little bit. Yeah, like each kid gets like a small, like a ladle full of
Oh
soup and like a
my
little bit of
God.
water. Yeah, like the community brings them in, like, yes, please come, come. We have some that we can share, please.
Oh my God.
I
Okay.
think because they realize that Mr. T and the teens are chasing
It's
after
helping.
Saber,
Right. Yeah.
exactly, and the mercenaries. Yeah, so they're like,
Yeah.
yes, please, like anything we can do. So the gang realizes now what real hunger feels like. They're
And
like, okay,
also, like, barely. This reminds me of, do you remember,
yes,
like,
one night of it.
happened, like, this is a very 90s thing. Like, my school, I don't think ever did it, but it was like when elementary students and high schoolers would, like, sleep in a cardboard box outside on, like, the school property for a
Yes.
night to see what it was like to be unhoused. And it
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah. Like, oh, yikes.
distasteful and
That's,
not
we've got to find the name of
correct.
that, like, tourism, humanitarian tourism
Yes.
thing, because that's basically the same thing,
Yeah. Being
like,
like,
but at a
they'll
local
learn.
level.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and like that's what them being like, I know what starvation is, being like
Right.
saying it to these people in this village, like,
Yeah.
we understand now.
Yes, I feel your
They're
pain.
like, could
We
you
had to
just
eat
get
a
back on
snake
the
last night. And they're
did
like,
you
oh
guys
God, I wish we could have
you
had a
had
snake.
meat?
We've been eating
Yeah.
fruit
Did you
stew.
fucking bring
Yeah.
any?
Yeah. Are you gonna share?
Yeah, what the fuck? So yeah, not I get that they're trying to like put the lesson in to be like, okay, look, they learned their lesson, da da da. But from a adult perspective, I'm like, what'd you just say to
It's
these
like,
actual starving people?
exactly. So, okay,
But
yeah, to be
they've
fair, I
learned
don't
a
think they actually
lesson.
say it to them.
But
Yeah,
that's the vibe.
yeah,
Like they've learned their
exactly. It
lesson
is. They're like,
in
oh,
one
hey, you
single
guys are
night.
starving. We're also starving. Like,
Like,
are you?
we have different
Yeah,
level
literally
perspectives.
been one day.
Right, but I get
Literally.
they're trying to make a point. Da 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 da
Yes,
da. I get it. I get it. I get it.
exactly. And so what they're really saying here too is like, okay, it's almost like realigning them with the mission here. Like, all right, we went through that pain in one night. These people have to go through
Right.
it every day,
Every
and they have
moment,
been
every
going
waking
through it
moment.
exactly. And they're like, we don't want anyone to ever have to feel all the
Yeah.
time the way that we felt in that one night, is like the
Yeah.
way that they're going with it. But you're right, it
Yes.
is hungry, or it is hungry. It is hilarious the way they say, like, now I really know what it's like to be
Yeah.
hungry. Like they have to like scale it back. Like, I mean, because like I don't want you guys to feel that way. Like,
Right.
I'm
I can
not
imagine
saying
what
we're the
you
same.
feel if this is how we
Exactly.
felt this one night.
Exactly.
So
So,
funny though. Okay.
and the writers were like, okay, we're not gonna make them look like that big of assholes, but yeah,
Yeah.
little privileged kids. So a man in the village, I think the guy who like allowed them in, tells Mr. T that Saber and his mercenaries were seen driving through the desert or that area earlier that day, and they were
Uh-huh.
headed for the hills, which apparently, according to him, are also towards the ocean. And
Okay.
apparently, if you just once you get to the top of the hill, you see the ocean, and like the harbor is right on the other
Okay, an easy
side.
spot for pirates.
Exactly what Mr. T says. Like,
Okay.
sounds like a good spot to find a ship that would be stolen and
Hmm.
hiding and carrying food.
Okay.
Exactly. So Mr. T thanks the man for the hospitality and, like, obviously sharing food and water with them. And he tells the kids that they've got to get going now that they know where they're going.
Yeah.
But this man from Samana, I was straight about to say Ethiopia. This man from Samana,
Samana.
he is an angel because he's looking at them like, well, you guys are still tired. Like, I know we gave you some food, but like, I can tell you're tired and that journey is long. But our village, we have two oxen and a cart. Please take them to help you get
Oh,
there. I was like, God, this guy is starving to death. Literally, all of his people are starving to death, and they're like sending them off with that. Like, that's my God, the
that's
humanity
beautiful.
of it all. It is.
Right,
It's like,
truly.
Lord. I don't know if you would see that this day and age, but the 80s,
Not in
man,
America,
times
at
were much
least.
nicer. Yeah, not here. So they do take this cart up to the hills, and when they get there, Mr. T tells Spike and Dozer to like stay back. He's like, you guys stay here,
Yeah.
watch the cart, because pretty sure we're gonna fight pirates on the other side of that hill.
Yeah.
So stay here in case shit goes down. And yeah, Kim, Jeff, Woody, Robin, and Mr. T all start like hiking and climbing up this like super steep hill, which is like low key, like a small mountain, basically, the way that they're
Uh-huh.
scaling it. And so when they get up towards the top, they do see a bunch of those mercenaries up there standing guard, kind of just like
Mm.
circling around, watching over the harbor below. And again, they obviously have to fight through these guys to get to the other
Yes,
side of the
naturally.
hill. So they basically just kind of like one by one fight these mercenaries off.
Yeah.
And I have to describe this one. It's so fucking funny. They break, so there's three mercenaries. Mr. T takes one, Kim and Jeff take another,
Uh-huh.
Robin and Woody take another.
Uh-huh.
And the way that Robin and Woody trick the dude that they take out, Robin just like kind of like limps onto the scene, like acting like a lost, injured girl, like, sir, can you help me? My ankle. I think I've hurt my ankle. And the guy is confused at first, like, why is this like white American teenager
Yeah,
limp?
on my fucking
Okay,
mountain.
this is weird on my mountain.
Yeah.
But he does like he looks confused, but he walks up to her like, huh? But as he walks up to her, he walks underneath the tree. Woody drops down from the tree above and lands on the man's shoulder and like wraps his legs
They
around the
love the
guy's
shoulder
neck.
headlock.
Classic move. The classic move.
How terrifying.
Choking this man off and being like, yeah, like riding a horse. And then Robin like drop sweep kicks him.
Hell yeah,
She
Robin.
like pushes off the ground to like kick through his knees, basically. Probably
Fuck yeah.
blew out his knees easily.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As
Tendons
Woody is like choking him
choking
above.
him.
And then as he
Assassins.
falls face down, yes, as he falls face down, Woody then jumps on his back and ties his hands behind his back and like pushes his face into the dirt. And then they get up and they high five each other and they're like, nice, 8 seconds. That was pretty good.
Oh my God.
And then we hear off screen, Jeff is like, big deal. We did it in 7. And the camera pans to Jeff and Kim, who are just like standing on either side of a man who's fully tied up to a boulder. Like
This is
shoulders,
the best
chest,
fight scene of the
legs.
show.
The best scene. Like, I want to know what they did to get that man tied up. But like they're just standing there like, we did it in 7. Which, hey, good for both teams. Like,
I mean,
those are probably PRs for both. 7
exactly. I was
minutes,
gonna say
15
Mr.
seconds
T's got the little
combined.
stopwatch. PRing
Good,
them.
good. Their final trial. Their
Exactly.
final
This is
trial,
all their final
literally.
trial.
Yeah. Speed run.
Yeah,
Go.
truly. Holy shit.
So
Incredible.
yeah, that's like the flavor of how they beat these armed mercenaries, basically.
Yes.
And then they make their way down the hill, back down the other side of the hill to get to the docks to break up the black market ops that are going on down there.
Yeah.
And Jeff and Mr. T like steal 2 of the mercenaries' clothes and like change into them, which
Classic.
is hilarious for Jeff, especially.
Yeah, to be like, are you the boss's nephew or something?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this?
Who's visiting from like London or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like until he opens his mouth and reveals
Who
he's
the fuck is
American.
this kid?
They're like, what's going on? So yeah, they're pretending to be the mercenaries and they're like holding Kim, Robin, and Woody as if they're prisoners, like with their
hostage,
hands behind their back. Yeah, like leading them in, corralling them down to the harbor, obviously trying to like, yeah, trick Saber into letting them onto the premises. Like, hey, we caught him, boss. Look at us. We got him. Let us in. And it only takes about 2 seconds for Saber to realize what's going on. He's like, bro, I know what my mercenaries look like.
And he looks at Jeff again in particular.
He's like, sir,
certainly
also,
did not hire
we just
you.
fought you guys like 2 times in the last 24 hours. Like, I recognize you. And hilariously, once Saber realizes what's going on, we just see one by one, like Robin, Jeff, and Woody all take their hands from behind their backs and reveal that they're not restrained, just like boom.
Yeah,
Saber, And Saber's eyes just like get so wide, and you can like see the fear just take over his body as these kids like show their free exposed hands, and he's like, "Oh shit, back up,
Get
guys,
back
shoot
up,
him, get him!" Like immediately. And yeah, so they obviously all start fighting each other.
Yep.
And of course, Saber cannot fight for himself, the gelatinous man that
No.
he is.
Yeah.
So he hops into a Jeep and tries to escape while everyone else is fighting. But Mr. T is like, not like, kids, you guys take care of all these mercenaries and shit. I'm gonna go after
Yes,
Saber.
great.
So Mr. T chases down after him. He like hops onto the Jeep that Saber's driving, grabs hold of the steering wheel,
I
and
love
is
steering
like
wheel.
pulling this. He loves to make a car crash happen, like
Loves it.
sending, like pulling the steering wheel in all directions, and they're like swerving and careening all
Mm,
over the docks in this car. And eventually they drive up the boat ramp as Mr. T is still like yanking on the steering
yeah.
wheel. And I guess Saber is like flooring it because they basically just like use that shit as a launch pad, and the Jeep just like launches over the fucking ship. But as the Jeep goes airborne, Mr. T grabs hold of Saber, grabs him, and they tuck and roll out of the car as the
Cool.
Jeep like crashes down into the ship, and
Oh
then
God.
land in a fishing net that is hanging up in the
Phew.
boat, thankfully
Okay.
underneath them, so they do not crash down with the Jeep.
Okay. Okay.
And Mr. T tells Saber basically like the jig is up and that he's about to pull some hard time for all of this, piracy
Whew.
and, all the theft that he's been doing.
Okay.
So Saber, he gets arrested, and the ship and all of the food is
Interesting.
recovered. I'm sure all the
Good.
mercenaries are also arrested, although in
I know. I'm
hindsight,
like,
because my theory is that Saber is working for the federal government here in Samana. He's not
I
working for the
think,
insurgents.
I think
And
he's
so I
gonna
don't
be
think
let
that putting
go.
him in the hands of the government is a great idea, but
I
I'm not
think they're
sure that
just
Mr. T
making.
has.
I think they're just making a show of it for the Americans who are here, so
They
they don't
are.
go back and put him on blast back in
Exactly. Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Maybe not good.
But
Yeah,
he
no.
is taken
At least he's off the street
somewhere
momentarily. At least he
at
has
the
promised to
moment.
change the operations now. You know,
Yes, that is
at least
true.
it
Exactly.
has
He's
to
got to
shift.
reshuffle some things, right?
Yeah,
He's going to have to start maybe move to a different territory in the
yeah, things are gonna
country
have to
or
change somehow
do a
here.
different
Okay.
type of aid or something.
Yeah,
But nonetheless, the team and Mr. T, they're all able to get the food back, and they hand deliver it to that Red Cross outpost
good,
and
great.
celebrate with the community, noting that the provisions should now last them for several months, which obviously,
Okay.
hopefully more shipments come in the
Yeah, I
meantime
mean,
to continue this, and also more importantly, hopefully government policy changes so that the famine can end and the Civil War can come to an end, maybe. But that's
yeah.
not a discussion for this podcast. So,
But let's just say Ruby
hey, just
Spears.
saying,
They did
Ruby
it, not
Spears, man.
us. We're just saying what
Yeah.
we saw, saying what we saw.
We're just the messengers. It's all good. And so then Mr. T, in real life, real live action, gives us our lesson. Like I
Yeah,
said in the beginning, I mean, that's basically it. We saw that kid throw away the hot dog,
yeah,
and paraphrasing here a bit, but obviously the moral of this whole story was the importance of not wasting food, and
yeah.
how the team all learned firsthand about hunger and what it really does to people. But in the end, the team put in hard work to help people around the world, and that's something that you should think about doing too. The end
Wow.
of all of our
Also, like,
Mr. T
not really a
coverage for
happy
now.
ending to be
No,
like, for a
no, the
few months they'll
famine did not
survive.
end. Yeah, yeah. This should last them for now,
Yeah,
basically,
for the
is
next
how it
4 months.
ended.
But unless it
Yeah.
gets stolen from us while it's here, I don't know. Have fun back in Chicago, kids. Enjoy
Yeah,
that
I guess.
brunch.
I hope you guys do more charity meets to fund
Yeah,
more humanitarian aid ships to come in
yeah.
and feed our country.
Ooh,
But Civil War rages on,
right.
and
Continues
insurgent
on.
groups are still
Continue on.
having their stronghold in areas
The
and not
famine
getting food through. The
continues.
famine continues. The drought continues.
Wow.
Yeah, but
And
this one community is good for the next couple of months, though.
probably, unless something happens to
Congrats.
the food or weather
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
disease or
or if rebel
insurgents,
groups or if the
government.
government moves in on the area
Yeah.
and takes it
Or if
over for
other
military
countries decide to cut
operations.
aid.
Yeah, because they realize
Whatever.
that the government can't get its shit together and distribute it properly. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
Or just other countries are
maybe,
also
but
horrible and
at
cut off aid for
least
no
for
reason.
the next few months,
But at
you're
least you'll
okay.
finish your hot
Kind
dog
of.
now, Jeff.
At least
Love
your
that for
powdered milk
you.
and dried eggs have arrived for the next few
Enjoy your
months.
fresh eggs at home, kids.
Yeah. So
Enjoy. Wow.
that is the end.
Incredible job.
Thank you. Thank you.
That also,
Um,
I was thinking while you were talking about it, of like in
Crazy.
so many of our episodes, we obviously jokingly, because this is who we are as people, like have joked
Yes.
about being like, I think especially like Amazing Chan being like, oh, they start wars. Like
Oh yeah.
they're out there starting wars, LOL. But to have an episode actually
Like
be
Black
about
Ops.
a civil war,
Civil War. I mean,
fucking
and again,
crazy.
do they ever say it in the episode?
But the
No.
context of
But
it,
exactly
yeah,
anyone who watched the news in the
at
same
that
time
time,
frame that this episode in
yeah.
particular came out knows like, oh shit, yeah, there
Well,
is a
and like the
civil war
black
going on over
market,
there.
even if it wasn't a
Yeah,
civil war happening, like the
the black
black market
market.
and clearly
Yeah,
someone stealing aid, like
yeah. That's like okay, yeah, that's political instability
I
in a
love
lot of
this
ways
that
at a
they did
minimum.
this.
I love it too. And it's again, I gotta say, I fucking love this show. I think it's
I
like
know, I'm
it's
saying,
only second to Scooby-Doo for me now, straight
ew,
up.
this
Like
show's
I love
fucking
this show.
crazy.
It's incredible. And
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm
we briefly brought it up at one point, but like, yes, it is a children's show, but everyone needs to know that reruns of this show were aired on Adult Swim.
oh right, exactly. They
So
were like,
like
this
they're
is
like,
for
is
all of
it a
us.
children's show? No, let's show this one to the adults,
It's
actually. Maybe it was
yeah,
for nostalgia because they were like, oh, the people
right,
who
they do
watched
that
this growing
sometimes.
up are now
Yeah.
watching Adult Swim. But no, I'm pretty sure it's because this is like straight up adult content, like
Yes.
packaged in a children's
Right, it
show's
just
like
happens to be
wrapping
animated
paper.
with like life
Yeah,
lessons, so it made it a
right.
children's show, and that was it.
Right. The only thing missing, like they don't cuss, except for in this episode, apparently it was a
A
shitload
shitload.
of food and not a shipload.
Shitload.
So maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah, we just haven't
But
watched all the episodes where they cuss and stuff. So,
yeah.
wow, incredible
So
job.
thank you. Thank you. What a way to end it for now.
Yeah,
We got many, many more episodes to do. But I
yeah.
guess which fool did you pity the most in this one? There was a lot of pity. There was a lot of pity to go around, but not
Pity, but
fools.
not fools.
It's like
I'm gonna
actual
say
pity.
the O'Neills, the parents, for taking their eyes off
I
of
love
Spike
it
for one
because
fucking
they're not
second.
even in it, but it's so true. Yeah.
In our canonical wild
Yes. In
speculation,
our head canon.
we inserted them in this episode, and I
Yeah.
pity those fools that they're like, God
Yeah.
damn it, Spike. And
hmm
what fool did you pity?
Um,
I kind of took the
I
only
kind of
fools who weren't even
No,
named
that's
Spike.
okay. Because like I kind of pity Miss Bisbee in this one because
Yeah.
like, listen, was this a great mystery or like investigation? No, they all almost died, like more so than they usually almost die.
Yes.
But Miss Bisbee's now planning an entire gymnastics meet all by herself while
Well, they're off just fucking
well,
traipsing
they're
around in
all
the desert.
jet setting into Africa. Like, bro,
National travel.
come back home and do
So
some work.
true.
So yeah, I
So
pity
true.
the fool who has
Well,
to
you're
plan a
fucking right.
gymnastics meet by themselves,
Yeah,
aka
Miss
Miss
Bisbee.
Bisbee here, even though she
Yeah.
lucked out by not having to eat snake
Yeah,
in
but
dire
almost dying.
starvation mode. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Great, great choice.
So yeah, yeah. So thank you, Mr. T, for giving us a lot of fools to pity. I guess giving
Yeah,
us 16 fools to pity over the
yeah,
course of this
truly.
arc.
Pity
Appreciate
them
it.
all.
Appreciate it. Ah, almost knocked over my microphone as I
Oh
was
God. Oh
thanking Mr. T
God.
for his service and like bumped my hand into it. So, anyways, who should they tell then after that, after all that pitying? Who should they tell about this
I
podcast?
think you should let people know about this podcast that are, have we done coaches? This
I don't
entire
know.
arc? I don't think we've
Yeah,
done
that's
a
crazy.
coach.
If not, I don't think we have.
Yeah, I think tell the
Yeah.
coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe we I don't know. I feel like we're at the point where we're like,
We've got to have a
You
tracker.
might be
somewhere, like
recycling
someone...
through some. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Anyone out there listening, any
Make a
super
tracker
fans
for
who
us.
want to go back through and tell us
Yeah,
who
make
we
an
think
Excel
in
sheet
every
for us.
episode,
And then we can always
help
check
us
as
out.
we say it.
Right. Nice. So tell a coach. And so then after you tell a coach, you should tell, man, it's crazy. I feel like we have done someone on the black market before, because I feel like we said like something about the Silk Road.
Yeah.
So I
We
don't know if I can
speculated about it.
So I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah.
So instead, tell Quincy. Oh wait, no, Quincy Jones. Did he just pass away? Damn. Posthumously, if so, rest in peace to the king, producer extraordinaire, if he did pass away. I hate that I can't remember.
Wait.
Quincy Jones, the man who basically produced We Are the World.
Yeah. I think he may have passed.
I feel like he did, because
because you know what? There's in
because that's
Bremerton.
Rashida Jones's dad. Yeah, he passed away 2 years ago.
In Bremerton, where we were right before
So
Seattle.
tell Rashida Jones instead. Sorry, rest in peace to her father.
Hey, I don't have a seance. Call him in.
Yeah,
there's a Quincy Jones Square over in Bremerton that they just unveiled. That I think he must be from there or lived there at some point, because his whole family came for the opening.
Huh. Oh my God, including Rashida?
I don't know if she was there. We weren't here yet.
If so, I would have been all over. Oh, you weren't there yet. I see.
Yeah.
It's a Chicago. Anyways, just really quickly looking through his thing. But I mean, honestly, every city should have a Quincy Jones memorial, in my personal opinion. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if he was from there or not.
Exactly. Yeah. Tell his surviving children, including Rashida, mainly Rashida.
Yes, mainly Rashida. We love you, Rashida. Anyways.
Wow.
Until next time with our next arc, that is going to be at least maybe it's going to be weird for sure, but maybe less real true crime heavy and more just goofy, silly,
we're getting
kind
silly
of monsters, again. Weird things. Again, dropping that word weird as our only hint that we will be giving until we are back next week with our new show. Mm-hmm. Till then, bye. Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.